I'm on live stream. Bop, 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 bop. Trying to load the comments here so I can see what's going on. There we go. What's up, peoples? What's up, Kathy? This is a plate of spuds. I put the creamy Caesar ranch, no, creamy Caesar ranch, creamy Caesar dressing on top. I think I've had it once before. It's super expensive. And then they give you one of those containers where you gotta shake it to like get it out, like the old ketchup bottles, and then all of a sudden it just goes, and then you wasted all your money, right? But luckily it didn't go crazy today. They trick you with those bottles. Gonna watch some Thanksgiving Day football. It smells good. It smells just like normal Caesar. Whatever the heck spices are in there, that's what it smells like. Just made some red potatoes. I had some bananas and some nice Christmas oranges. I don't know if anybody will tune in for football. I forgot to share this on my main channel too as well. Oh well. Three football games on today because it's Thanksgiving. I think usually there's only one on Thursdays and it's at night. But I think since it's a holiday in the States, they have three games like all day. If nobody tunes in, I'll just eat my potatoes. Potatoes and bananas, two of my favorite foods, and they're cheap and they're really healthy. So a win across the board. Tasty, cheap, healthy, and they're fun to say. Chiquita. Info, the audio. Is it gonna freeze again, this stupid stream already? Can you hear audio on here? Let me see. How's my audio? Ah. How's my audio? I saw it lagged a little bit. It's giving me a warning about audio. This is the best. If it fails, I go outside and play Pokemon Go. Then I'll be back to normal. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, the warning just went away. We'll see how it goes. I can always change to data too. I got lots of data. Let's see. See how that goes. See how that goes. Looks all right. All you need is love. Let me know if it freezes or anything. All right. Okay, let's find this football game. Bears versus Lions. Seems okay. I changed it to 480p. Not that it makes a big difference. I thought that would be helpful to change it to 480p, but then it's saying, warning, it's not optimal. So, I don't know. This Streamlabs thing is crazy. Oh, I just realized if you like put in Bears versus Lions, you actually get like Bears versus Lions, like the animals. We recommend. Now it's telling me like a whole bunch of nonsense. I don't know, man. The Streamlabs thing is crazy. Alright, man, at least the game's on that I could watch here. I'll just keep an eye on this. Let me know if the thing screws up in the comments. I'll just keep talking. Freezing again? This is not good, folks. Let me tamper with it one more time. One more time here. I don't know, man. We'll try it out again here. Let's see. We'll keep trying. All right, man. This is America. There's a choir out. If it keeps screwing up, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Game's about to start. National anthems. There's a choir singing. They got a huge American flag there. You know why? Because this is America. The Bears. Who do you want to win? The Bears. You guys old enough to remember that Saturday Night Live? Doubles. The Bears. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. SNL The Bears. Happy Thanksgiving. It's not Thanksgiving in Canada. I guess we stole land on a different day. What's this movie? Will Ferrell? Step Brothers and Talladega Nights returns. What is this? What's this new Will Ferrell movie here? Holmes and Watson. Looks interesting. Yeah, I hardly ever watch football, so I really have no clue what's going on here. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes today. My stream's like way at the bottom because this channel is not monetized. So that's awesome. Oh, kickoff's about to go here. Kathy's birthday. What's up, Kathy? Here's the kickoff. There's people that just play the game on YouTube. I wonder if that's like allowed. Kathy, at least you know there's going to be tons and tons of people that get sick from salmonella. Mitch Trubisky hurt his shoulder, so instead we have Chase Daniels. I did not know that. I've been watching just a lot of NBA and soccer lately, and that's it. And UFC. I might start watching more football though. Did you hear about that? My wife just told me about that. About romaine lettuce. There's like, what is it? E. coli in the romaine lettuce right now in certain parts of Canada or something. Don't eat that romaine lettuce right now. You know what? I've been seriously slacking on all the green leafy vegetables. So I'm good. As you can see, I'm just eating fruit. Can't get no listeria into this peel here. My orange is nicely protected. Are you gonna eat Gardein turkey? Or is it just pure gluten? Actually, I don't know what the Gardein one is. Kaylee's watching Shopkins up there. These potatoes are delicious. Alright, game has just started basically. Nobody scored. Oh, I don't know if football is the way to go for these companion streams with my 6 viewers. But I thought I'd pop in and just say hi to everybody anyways. Jesse, the Streamlabs thing screws up a lot. In all sorts of ways. I mean, it's helped me to get some super chats, but that's not very cool if it just doesn't work. Why did everybody care so much about Vegan Gains' stance on things? It's like he's some all-knowing supreme being. Everybody links me stuff all the time where it's like, oh, Vegan Gains thinks this. Like, so? Like, you realize, like, I don't know, he just looks things up online? Like, he just doesn't go to school or nothing? He's not a scientist, he's not any, you know, he's just a guy. He doesn't know everything. Somebody sent me something yesterday saying, Vegan Gains hates organic, but he also hates GMO. It's like, well, okay. Yeah, but he may be smart, but it's not like you have to follow every single thing he says. You know, like, oh, he said this. You know, like if every plant-based scientist is saying eat organic, and then Vegan Gains is saying don't eat organic, I'm not gonna be like, well, Vegan Gains said so. So, I mean, screw all the other data. You know what I mean? You can't just listen to one guy and be like, well, he's Vegan Gains. He's got gains and he's vegan. Yeah. I don't know, man. Somebody said his stance was he avoids it as much as possible and it's a scam. That's what I heard. But he never said, like, what the AY Discord says. He never said, like, if you eat it, you're a carnist. Yeah, he didn't say it's not vegan. Because people would just be unsubscribing from him because that's stupid. Here's my favorite team. I used to like the 49ers, but like I said earlier, I haven't watched football in a long time, so I don't really have a favorite team right now. That was a long time ago. I'm from Canada. Over here we got the CFL, but I don't really watch that either because that's not even as good as the NFL. Did I see these? Oh no. Like, that's the thing, man. People send me videos all the time saying, watch what Vegan Gains thinks about organic. Like, I don't even care what he thinks about organic. Like, if I'm in the mood to, like, I'll watch a video and I watch one of his videos, you know, I'm listening to what he says, but it's not, I'm not going to actively seek his advice on things. Bears play the 49ers for the second. So how is the 49ers doing now? Do they suck now? They used to be good when they had like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice. You know. Oh yeah, he's definitely more listenable too than those two people. I could listen to his videos without being like cringing at certain moments. But I don't think anybody should just go to one person for advice. Nobody should go just to me for advice. Nobody should go just to Ask Yourself or Vegan Gains. They should go like, they should look at what everybody's saying and then also do their own research on top of that, right? That's what the, if you listen to the Joel Kahn debate there, that's what he was trying to tell the Kresser guy and Joe Rogan. He's saying, like, you look at all of science. Don't be like, well, I got this one study, you know, or I listened to this one guy said this. Look at all of it. And come to your own conclusions after listening to all of it. Like Banana Princess Warrior over here, she's trying to say, oh, here, look at this one study from only the UK. Most of it's behind a paywall. And judging by this one thing, now all of organic is carnist. Like, yeah. Sounds reasonable. Let me just listen to this one person's one horrible study and base my whole life on that. Oh, I've been saying it wrong, I think. What does side eye mean? I don't fully believe that not eating organic will stop animal shit from being used in plants. Of course it won't. I think animals should be shitting on plants. They just shouldn't be getting stabbed, right? If you don't stab them, then there's no blood to put in the blood meal. Just don't stab them. I mean, it's very simple, but I don't know. People think they're somehow the same thing, like poop and killing, because it comes from the same business. A lot of things come from the same business, and one could be plants and one could be meat. I just don't buy the one that's meat, right? That's what I was trying to say. Oh, we're going to boycott grocery stores now, I guess. Like, that makes sense. Nobody scored yet in this game. His old video was telling everybody to eat organic when possible. Yeah, that's when he was being reasonable and listening to science, and now he's listening to whatever Ask Yourself and Dr. Abby say, because I don't know why. They're friends. You know? Nobody has their own brain. This is Ask Yourself's Discord, alright? So Ask Yourself and Abby tell everybody how it is. They say, look, this is the right thing, and we'll debate you on it. And if somebody else has a different opinion, they'll get heated, they'll argue with them, they'll make fun of them, they'll call them stupid, they'll change their thing to Carnist, and then if they keep arguing, they'll just kick them out of the Discord. How many people have been kicked out of that Discord? You know, hundreds. You can't disagree with them. And so everybody who wants to, you know, still follow his channel or be on the Discord has to fall in line. Then they all listen to, you know, organic is Carnist. Now you got 100 people saying organic is Carnist. And then it seems like, oh, all these people are saying it on the Discord, must be true, right? No. It's like a dictatorship over there. Yeah. Even all these people that I don't really get along with have been kicked out of that Discord. Like everybody, like Flemface, OG Mizzen, like, I don't know, there's so many people that have been kicked out of the Discord. You know, look how he gets along with that Philo vegan guy and all those other people. It's like, you disagree, you're out of here, and plus I'm making tons of videos calling you a retard, like Foot Soldier there. That's why Ask Yourself was getting all those dislikes, because he's just like, you're retarded if you don't agree with me. You heard about 6ix9ine potentially getting 32 years in prison? I just saw that interview, he never mentioned that. I don't tend to like listen to all that stuff until it actually happens, because so much of it is like fake news, right? Like, I don't want to hear potentially. If he's going to jail, then okay, yeah, that's a news story. I'm potentially going to jail for 900 years. Potentially. What did he get arrested for? That interview? Because he killed that interview? If I got a face tattoo, would I be famous on YouTube? I mean, the sexy vegan did it. Gang activity. That's hot. That's hot, as Paris Hilton would say. I drink water out of recycled jars. This was marinara sauce at one point. 6ix9ine this and 6ix9ine that. That's his only good song. All of the rest of his songs suck. And that song's only like a minute. He's not even good at what he does. He's just a weirdo, so people go, oh man, let me listen to this weirdo. But his music is trash. Yes. He sucks. Teens react to 2018 music that sucks, starring 6ix9ine. And they turn it on and they're like, oh, what's this? It sucks. Yeah, Little Pump's way better. The Kanye West one's better. They have like old videos of Little Pump when he's younger and they look funny. He's way better. I don't listen to him though either. He should change his name to Little 6ix9ine. That'll get up some more views. Thanksgiving, Kay. Thanksgiving, the day we celebrate stealing land by shoving our arms up dead turkeys' butts and stuffing their anal cavities with bread. Let's put bread up a bird's ass. And then we'll eat it. We'll eat the ass. That's the best part, is the bread up the ass. Put some gravy on that ass bread. Okay, I only got 6 viewers. I might just go play Pokemon Go outside in the freezing cold. I gotta win 10 raids, or battle in 10 raids, so I can get Meltan. Nerd life. Once I catch them all, then I'll just be the supreme Pokemon YouTuber. Make all sorts of videos, millions of views. I'll be that dude. You hear about Kalal. Who's Kalal? Kalal Slaughter? Are we talking about halal or Kalal? I don't know who Kalal is. Tell me all sorts of news anyways, though. What's new? Kalal. Oh, I've never seen her channel, but I saw Vegan Gains made a video about her. I didn't watch that video either, but what happened to her? She's got diabetes? She's on the carnivore diet. Her and Vegetable Police are married. Sfarange is actually her dad. What's the news? She's eating meat now. I never watched her anyways. This is YouTube. This is YouTube. Some of us keep it real over here. Stick with potatoes. All these people aren't real people. They're just robots. You know what these people do? This is what they do. They wake up and they go, what kind of douchiness could I do on YouTube to push the envelope to get more views and cause controversy? You know, I could pretend like, you know, to do this completely horrible thing and, oh no, that's going too far. And then they weigh the options in their head. Well, I could go outside and I could, like, get hit by a car. You know, oh no, that would break my bones. Don't want to do that. Well, I could, like, you know, do that. No, that's too far too. I could eat meat. Yeah. Well, I actually will eat meat because I'm a pathetic loser who has no ethics. And then they do it for views. Because they're just losers. They don't actually, like, they don't just, like, they don't have, like, even their live streams are probably just, like, totally phony. Like, oh, that's how they talk. She never struggled for views. I don't know what that means, but I bet you she got more views because of controversy. That's how YouTube works, right? Like, you could say the same thing about Vegan Gains and be like, well, he probably would have had views just by making good videos. I think Kaylee just fell upstairs. You okay? Yeah? What'd you do? You hurt your hand? She's sick from school today. Now she's falling on her butt. Calm down up there. Her mom's up there though. Don't worry. Oh. She almost, yeah, it doesn't matter how many views they have too, like, even if they have lots of views, like they want to stay on top, they want to grow their channels, and then also like now's the time to be like extra controversial. You got more views, right? You're gonna get views no matter what, so you could literally say anything you want as long as it's not over the line. Okay, well let's look at the channel. I'll show you what I mean here. I'll show you what I mean, sir. Hello. Okay, so well, look, I mean, look at the videos she's making. Look at the videos she's making. I'm a man. Okay? Tell me if these aren't controversial titles. So that one has 250,000 views. The video underneath it, she just given an apartment tour, only 163,000 views. Then the video underneath that, controversial video of talking about Me Too, hashtag Me Too, 300,000 views. And then underneath that, again, just eating food and a Q&A, way less views. So it depends if the title is controversial or not. That's where all her views come from. The ones that aren't controversial get half the views. You can see that underneath. And you can see right here, going back to eating meat. Again, more views than the mukbang and more views than the apartment tour. 230,000 views. What I ate in a day, less views than going back to eating meat. How Buddhism changed my life, no views. See, there's like the one video that's like completely positive, no views compared to the rest one. That tells it all right there. You get the least amount of views for making a positive video. You get the most amount of views for talking about, let's see, what else? Never mind, sorry. The most amount of views for the one with her boobs in the thumbnail. Do I regret my cosmetic work and she's got her boobs in the thumbnail? Almost 500,000 views. So boobs get the most views. Yeah, like makeup tutorial is nothing, garbage. Yeah. So, even though when you're a big YouTuber, you get the most views and the most new viewers who are going to subscribe to you from the controversy, so that's why they keep making all these stupid, you know, like Vegetable Police. Vegetable Police had a decent following. He could have just kept it going, but his channel blew up more when he started doing goofy stuff. You didn't get a notification? That's because YouTube doesn't care about this channel because it's not monetized. What am I going to do today? Is it cold outside today? What's the weather like here? Where's the weather app? In Thunder Bay, it is -3. That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. -3. Freezing. It is freezing, you're right. -0 is freezing. It's always freezing. But it's not bad. Might snow today. Snow showers. 15-mile-per-hour winds. Happy shove bread up a dead bird's ass day. Everybody. And to all a good night. Well, it's pretty clear that these football live streams get no views. On vegan Thanksgiving, we stuff potatoes up carnists' asses. And there's some people dressed up as, what are those Thanksgiving people called with the black and white clothing there? Pilgrims. There's people at the game dressed up as pilgrims. It's never too cold to play Pokemon. You know what you gotta get? Those foot warmers that you shake up and you put them in on your toes. I learned that from forest school with Kaylee in the winter. And you also get the gloves. I have gloves that just have one fingertip come out of the end and then touch the phone, and they're like super warm. And yeah, just bundle up. Bundle up. Face mask. Ready to go. The phone gets so cold that it just starts being choppy. It starts like looking like it's lagging a little bit, but it still works. Who hasn't heard that song, Kay? You have to live in a basement, your mom's basement, to not hear that song. Yeah, I think the best thing to do is, like, if somebody, like, say, the 900s example, I could give 900 examples of people who are all idiots on YouTube, like Kalel, Vegetable Police, Farange Milk Jar, Sean Baker, you know, whatever, you name it. All these people, little vegan cheetah, unnatural vegan, all these people who are just doing completely bogus stuff. People then give them more attention. You know, that's what they want. So you just really ignore them. That's the only way to have, like, that's like real activism, right? You're actively ignoring the morons and then, not promoting them. Because that's not what you want. Is if you don't want to promote this moronic attitude and it like offends you to hear this stuff and you're like, oh my God, did you hear what this person said? It's so stupid. Don't tell anybody about it. Just ignore it and nobody will look it up and give them views, right? You know what I'm saying? That's why Trump got elected, man. Because he caused controversy. Everybody talked about him. Then he got elected. We don't want Kalel to be the next president of the world. Meow, meow, meow. Do vegans have greater life expectancy or somewhat an immunity to cancer? They do have a greater life expectancy, and their cancer rates are lower, but they're not immune to cancer. You could get cancer from just breathing in toxic air, right? You know, you could get cancer from your friggin' tap water, but it is lower. Cancer rates are lower, diabetes rates are lower, heart disease is way lower, you know, diabetes is way lower as well. I think life expectancy is about 10 years more on average. Her symptoms she claims she has are similar to breast implant illness. What? I never even heard of that. Breast implant illness? How does, or the silicone gives you like, you know, a cold? Oh no, I'm ill from my boobies. How does that work? It's a real thing, but what is it? What happens? One day you just poop out your implants. That's how it works. She has high testosterone. Why would that be? Well, your testosterone fluctuates all the time. So it's like, how did she even figure out that she has high testosterone? She went to the doctors one time and they said, hey, your testosterone's high. I think you have to, in order to accurately test your testosterone, you need to go through like tons and tons and tons of tests. Because it could be all over the place, depending on, you know, there's so many variables that determine what your testosterone levels would be. Like I could just eat like a fatty meal and my testosterone could just crash. And I just have the test levels of an old man just because I ate a fatty meal. Yeah, but I mean, like, again, how many tests did she have? One? Like, she could have just, like, you know, been on a high that day for whatever reason. You know, like I said, there's a million reasons why it would be higher than normal one time. And then the next day she could go back and it could be lower than normal, right? Oh yeah, so yeah, I answered your question there. Somebody's texting me there. Somebody calls, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn my ringer off. It might blast your eardrums. Maybe I did turn it off, actually. But yeah, I did answer your thing right before I did this. I don't read the comments, like, consistently. I read my comments maybe once every couple days, because, especially now, because that channel I'm not even using. I'm using this channel. But yeah, the study you sent me, so they're comparing a Mediterranean diet, which is like vegetables and fish, and to a red meat based diet, and it's in rats. So first of all, like, you should never look at a study with rats, because there's so many problems with animal testing. First of all, rats are a different type of animal than a human, so rats are not frugivorous primates, right? So, like, what would affect their stomach, their arteries, their body is going to be way different than what affects, how it affects, like, a monkey or a human or something like that, right? Like, if they were going to do animal testing, which I am against them doing animal testing, but, I mean, it would be better to test like a monkey or something. But for ethics, I wouldn't want them to do that. And even people that were meat eaters would be like, don't test on monkeys or whatever, right? So that's why they use rats, because people hate rats. People are disgusted by rats. But yeah, so rats, like, you should never go by animal testing, period. And on top of that, they didn't even have like a plant-based diet in the equation. It was just the Mediterranean diet did better than the red meat diet. Of course it did. Red meat is trash, but then fish is trash too. It's just slightly better than red meat, right? I think they said it was like a neutral, right? They said like the vegetable fish diet was a neutral, but the red meat diet did worse. So why didn't they have like a high raw fruits and vegetables diet or something as well? Why just those two diets? Clearly, whoever made this study is wanting to push the Mediterranean diet, right? Like maybe, for whatever reason, they're like, oh, let's see how great this Mediterranean diet that I love, or that are sponsoring me, or that, whatever it is, that they were like, they're trying, because they could have literally picked any diet. They could have picked a diet with fish, or sorry, not fish, but they could have picked a diet with fruit and egg whites, and maybe that would have done better. Or that would have done better than the red meat diet, and then the fruit and egg whites, diet would be the best, But like they didn't test everything else. It said more TMAO in vegetables. I didn't remember that part. I said, let me pull it up actually. I thought it said it was a neutral, but either way, again, it's on rats. Like how much broccoli are rats eating compared to like scraps of meat and trash lying around, right? Bugs and whatever. Like rats eat all sorts of crap. And again, so and then another thing that I have to say about this study is that they're talking about. Like people think like the Joel Kahn debate, like he's a terrible debater because that stupid AB guy says so. There's lots of nuggets in that debate that you could take away that are really good advice. Joel Kahn there, he says about Kresser studies, he says nobody has ever died of a biomarker, right? So if you're looking at something and it goes, oh, well, there's more TMAO, there's more of this, there's more of that, whatever it is, right? It did this one thing to the biomarkers and whatever, and it was a little bit higher. Nobody's ever died from a biomarker. People die from heart disease, cancer, diabetes, all these things like that, right? So if more people are dying from eating meat from heart disease, cancer, diabetes, whatever, that's what you need to look at, the deaths. Because just because something has more of something in it or this and that, that doesn't matter because nobody dies from biomarkers. It is worth looking at, but it's not concerning whatsoever. And then all the other things I named about rats and whatever else are stupid too. There's a football player in Montreal who eats insects. I would say eating insects is more healthy than eating meat. People would find it grosser, but then I would say you don't need to eat insects, so you should just eat plants. It's pretty simple. If you were a monkey, you'd be eating insects off your, girlfriend's back. Yeah, I like rats. I wanted to get, when I didn't think too much about pet ownership before, and now I'm against it, but when I did go to the pet store, I always looked at the fancy rats. I wanted to get a couple fancy rats. And I wanted to, like, build them like a little, like a castle where they just go, all through a whole bunch of, I just watch them roam around like a maze or something. I would treat those fancy rats very well, but then they would just make more fancy rats, which I don't want them to do. So I wouldn't buy them. They call them fancy rats because most people will think, oh, the rats are gross. Oh, so if we put the word fancy in front, then people will, oh, these aren't regular, these are the fancier ones. So it said more TMAO in vegetables. Wait, so I don't get the. Wasn't the point of the debate saying that, or the study saying that the Mediterranean diet was better than the red meat diet, or was it the opposite? Maybe I misread that part. Either way, they both suck. So there's and then also they're saying. They put fish and vegetables together, though. So they're saying the TMAO is only in the vegetables and not the fish, or the fish and the vegetables, because maybe it was just a lot in the fish. But I don't know. I have to look at it again. But either way, all those other things I say, you can just dismiss that whole study. Let me read something to you quickly that's really that I read a long time ago. That makes a lot of sense. Why? Okay. Okay, animal data is not reliable for human health. For human health research. So, let's see here. Where's the okay, so many drugs that appear safe and effective in animals fail in humans or cause significant harm and even death. A 2004 study from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration found that 92% of drugs entering clinical trials following animal testing failed to be approved. Of those approved, half are withdrawn or relabeled due to severe or lethal adverse effects not detected during animal testing. So that 92%, that's a big fail rate, right? So you test something on an animal, oh, it's fine, or it did this in the animal, like a rat especially, and then you put it in a human and the human dies, or whatever. 92%, that's, why even trust something, like any sort of animal research if 92% of it's wrong, right? A 2008 study in the journal Alternatives to Laboratory Animals showed that more than 80 HIV vaccines successful in non-human primates failed in human trials. So even though they tested it, like I said, on monkeys, on primates, they tested it on primates, it worked, and then they tested it on humans and it failed 80% of the time. 80%! According to a 2004 study in the journal Stroke, more than 4,000 studies report I can't even say that word. Efficacy. I can't read, man. Efficacy of more than 700 treatments of stroke in animal models. Yet none of the approximately 100 of these treatments tested in humans showed clinical benefit, as reported in 2005 paper in the International blah 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 blah. So 700 of these things tested and this one thing worked in animals, only 150 of them actually worked in humans. Drugs intended to reduce inflammation in critically ill patients previously tested in mice failed in nearly 150 human critical trials, according to 2013 study. And it goes on and on and on. This is just a huge article of all the times and all the times it's failed. And that's just one article. Then there's actually another like legit study here in the Journal of Royal Society of Medicine, why animal studies are often poor predictors of human reactions to exposure. And it goes on and on and on. In one survey, only 1 in 10,000 Medline records of animal studies were tagged as being meta-analysis compared to 1 in 1,000 human studies. Let's see here. Yeah, anyways. You get it. You get the idea. Don't ever look at like somebody... like a milk jar. Milk jar will send you a study, you know, check out this study and it's on rats. These rats ate some meat and they were okay, so pretty much you're a rat. You know what I mean? There was a guy named Chris that I debated who thought he was a wolf. He would send me a lot of rat studies. I heard a vegan diet never sustained any traditional culture. Well, you could find vegans today, right? You could find vegans like all over the world that are unintentionally vegan. And I mean, yeah, that is a moot point, but I still like to address that because that's not completely accurate. So there's people like today that you could find all over the world in poor places that eat a lot of grains and beans and legumes and that type of stuff. And you know, it could be up to like 100%, 99% just plants. Because meat is expensive and scarce in a lot of these places around the world. Then there's also people that live, you know, in areas that there's just an abundance of fruit growing around in like tropical areas and stuff like that. So, I mean, you can find people like that living today just based on environment who are vegan. So why would you assume that nobody ever did that in history? If people are doing it today because that's where they live in that type of environment, it only makes sense that those type of environments were always around. You could look at blue zone areas where plant-based diets, you know, people are thriving on those in the blue zones. Look at the blue zone areas. You can look at people like, say, the gladiators, the Incas. The gladiators, they called them the barley men because they ate nothing but like rice barley and beans, and they were, you know, lean and really healthy. And then you could look at the Incas, they call them the people of the corn. They were on like a starch-based diet as well. If you look at the Starch Solution lecture, he goes through the whole list of people that have been throughout history on starch-based diets. And they're the leanest, most longest living people like in history or whatever. So there's that. What's a blue zone? Well, you could actually look at, if you put it into Google, you just put in, if I could find Google. I can't even Google. Okay, here it is. So if you put in blue zones, you can actually see the areas. There's a map. Blue zones. Oh, shoot. Blue zones are regions of the world where Dan Buettner claims people live much longer than average. The term first appeared in the November 2005 National Geographic Secrets to a Longer Life. So that's, you can look at that, and there's, let's see here. Oh, I'm trying to zoom in. It's not letting me zoom in. Okay, so we got Nicoya, Costa Rica, Loma Linda, California, Sardinia, Italia, Ikaria, Greece, and Okinawa, Japan. And they say that their life lessons are move naturally, right outlook, right tribe, eat wisely, right? So the diets that they're eating are high plant-based diets. Also, you can look at, like, say, the Adventist vegetarians. And, you know, just look at Japanese people in general, or not like Asian people in general. They live a lot longer than, you know, Americans and Canadians, all these people. It's because they're eating way more plants. And if you look at what is right about all, so don't just look at one thing and be like, oh, well, this one thing says that. Look at all of this information. Look at all the starch solution diets, the Incas, the gladiators, the whatever. Look at the blue zones. Look at the Asian culture. Look at all of these things. And you will see that the only thing that's consistent through all of them is that the higher the amount of plants in your diet, the longer you live. There you go. And there's nothing like, you know, there's no magical properties in meat that you can't get from plants that you know, absolutely need for health. That's never been proven that there's anything in there that, you know, that your body doesn't make itself. Or, you know, if you say like cholesterol, and then like amino acids, right? You can get certain amino acids from meat, and you can get cholesterol from meat. You can get all these other things. Your body creates all those. Your body creates creatine. It creates all those things. And it's been shown that if you put any more into your body, it increases your risk of dying. So, I mean, that tells you a lot right there. Not to put in any extra of the stuff that you don't need. Like, say, fully formed vitamin A. You know, you get vitamin A toxicity and your hair falls out. If you eat plants, there's carotenoids, and it converts exactly the right amount of vitamin A that your body needs, and not any extra. But as soon as you put in the fully formed vitamin A that comes from plants, you got problems. Yeah, I don't know if I answered that efficiently. I hope that helped. And then pollution too is a big one. You know, if you're talking about, oh, you know what's really funny? I went to a couple movies recently, and both times at the movie theater they played this commercial from McDonald's. I don't know if you've seen this commercial. But it's called like mix sustainability or something, and they're talking about how their beef is like totally sustainable. Like, beef is like the worst thing for the environment that exists. Like, if you look at the 60 billion land animals. Like 59 billion of them are chickens, right? But beef has a bigger like environmental impact than the chickens. So how could like the beef be more sustainable when it's even the worst meat by far? So I mean, that's crazy that McDonald's gets away with like being like, oh, beef's totally sustainable. Like, they're just brainwashing people with lies. Trudeau, a good start is just to try to just eat more plants, right? See how you feel. Just keep, you know what I did? It's very hard to just be like, I'm going vegan and just do it. Some people could do it in one day, but I took about 2 months where I just cut out like red meat and chicken, and then I was just having, I just went vegetarian. That's what I did. So I was having egg whites and milk, and I would like make omelets with vegetables and stuff like that. And what else would I have? I don't know. I had like at first I had like lean meats like tilapia and tuna and stuff like that, and just got rid of the fatty meats, and then I went like vegetarian for a couple months, and then I just cut that out, and then I took like about a month or two, and then I just felt like amazing. So just transition and see how it feels. You don't have to be like, I'm cutting everything out tomorrow, because you're not even gonna have your fridge and cupboards ready. You don't even have like the stuff stocked in your house, so that could be a problem too. And then people are like, what do I eat? I got nothing to eat. So it's better to just cut certain things out, add certain things. You can still have all the fun stuff too, like this nice jug over here. Dr. Greger's latest video on the dairy industry manipulating more studies. Maybe they made that one that meat is murder just linked me. That said vegetables is bad for you. Notice how they use vegetables too and not my precious fruit. You cannot say fruit is bad for you. Is there one study out there that says fruit is bad for you? I don't think that exists. I don't think there's one study on the planet that says fruit is bad. If there is, let me know. Turns out fruit gives you AIDS. Let's see here. Fruit. Disease. No, wait. What if I put in too much fruit study? There's probably a study that tells you too much fruit is bad. Let me see. Can you eat too much fruit from Time magazine? I wonder what glorious Time magazine has to say. What's up, Brain? Brain, can you eat too much fruit? Is it possible to eat too much fruit is the name of this article. Oh, well, Time magazine is fire. What do you know? As long as you're eating whole fruit, it's hard to overdo it. See, even the bozos at Time magazine agree that it's going to be pretty hard to overdo the fruit. I guess you could say anything in too much is bad for you, like water. You drink too much water, you could die. Have you ever tried Three Farmers Crunchy Little Lentil Snack? I never even heard of that. Sounds crazy. Maybe I have seen that. I remember some kind of lentil snacks. I'll look for them next time. Are they good or crap? I think the girl who did Dairy is Scary is working on one of those pigs now. I wonder what that girl thinks about dairy now. Oh no, not the Dairy is Scary video, but I mean, remember that girl who critiqued the Dairy is Scary video? I wonder what that girl thinks now. She probably is still pro-dairy. I'm gonna try it, but I'm a little apprehensive because I heard that the vegan information supporting the diet has been cherry-picked. So you don't have to go by any specific study to figure this out. All right, so there's very easy ways to figure out that you should be on a plant-based diet. Is that, you know, what animal did you evolve from? You can't. All primates evolved from the ancient monkey, right? And you look at every primate species today, they just eat an abundance of fruits and vegetables, right? So why would you think like humans would be any different? You know what I mean? We didn't evolve from a cat. We didn't evolve, you know, so you could, I mean, you might not even be into evolution. You might be a flat earth creationist or something. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the Bible, but the Bible, even the Bible says, let every tree with seed-bearing fruit be thy meat. It's a Bible quote. But the fact is, you came from a monkey. All monkeys eat just tons of fruit. The more fruit a monkey eats, the smarter it is and healthier. You can see those studies out there. So that's obvious. And the things that are closest to raw fruits and vegetables that monkeys ate, like just if you're looking at nutrient-wise and what's in them, you could look at also starches, which is basically like, they call it pomme de terre, apple of the earth. It's the same you know, nutrients and profile and everything. So that's clear. Sure. Monkeys ate a little bit of insects, so if you want to, like I said, if you want to pick like some ticks off like your dad's back, you could do that. No, but you don't need to do that. But then you could also just trust your own senses and be like, you know, is it nice to see animals getting killed? Do I really feel the urge to run down an animal, jump on it, and rip it apart with my teeth? You know what I mean? Like, if that doesn't cross your mind ever, like you have literally no instincts to eat meat. You got no claws, you got no fangs, you walk upright, so you're perfect for picking, right? You're not an animal that's on all fours that's ready to pounce and run around. You're up for 16 hours a day because that's your foraging and picking time. Meat eaters sleep all day because they just need to hunt, eat, kill an animal, eat it, and then sleep, right? You're not nocturnal, so you're not hunting at night. You're awake during the day where it's bright out, and also you could see in a full range of colors. So you could find the fruit in the trees. Why else would you see in a full color spectrum if you weren't meant to pick all sorts of fruits and vegetables, right? If you would see in black and white like a wolf or something, and because you could see more detail in black and white, and that's better for hunting. So you're not a hunting animal, you're a picking animal. Your legs aren't bent in a sprinting position. They're fully upright. You don't have four stomachs like a cow, so you shouldn't be eating grass. But you have super long intestines, which means meat gets clogged in there and you get constipated and whatever, and have a hard time going to the washroom. What passes through long small intestines really easily is watery fruit, right? And that's why, you know, humans thrive off water and fiber, and that's what you need to take a crap. Cat will just open its mouth really wide and clamp on, so you can't open your mouth like that. Your mouth moves side to side, grinding plants like this, right? You know, it doesn't open like a cat's mouth. And I mean, you could go on for days about how all your body parts they're perfectly designed. You know, you put yourself beside a monkey, you're like identical biochemistry to this monkey. So eat what the monkey eats. They've done studies that show like just like the closest a human's stomach gets to the exact profile of what a wild monkey's stomach is, then the healthier they are. That's the type of gut flora and bacteria they should have is the same as a wild monkey's, right? And I haven't even, this isn't even talking about ethics. This is just about what your biochemistry and evolution is. right? And then on top of that, then we could now get into the studies after you've just used your common sense. Then you could get into the studies and then look at studies, and then you'll see, well, all these ones, you know, and it's not cherry picked either, because all the major food corporations of the world, I wish I had that book with me that has all of them in it. You know what? Maybe I do have the book here somewhere. I'll look for it in a second. But there's, you know, the American Dietetics Association, the World Health Association, Heart and Stroke Association. All these things across all the major organizations all agree that it's perfectly fine to be on a vegan diet throughout all stages of life, baby, infancy, pregnant, athlete, whatever. They all agree that it's healthy, and all of them also agree that your saturated fat intake should be very low in order to be healthy, which is like basically saying, you know, avoid meat because it all contains saturated fats. And it's just a big consensus across the board that things like red meat is a type 1 carcinogen that causes cancer. Or sorry, type 2 carcinogen that is linked to cancer. Processed meat is a type 1 carcinogen linked to cancer. And in those categories is also poultry, lamb, all sorts of other meats as well. There's overwhelming amount of data out there. And then now even if you think like, oh, I should be eating meat, well, now they're coming out with lab meat, which is identical and doesn't destroy the environment and is ethical. So I mean, at least go with that. You know? At least go with that. Even if you're going to eat meat. Which I don't recommend. I don't even recommend the lab meat. But if you're like, well, I can't give it up for whatever reason, that's coming out as well. So the world's going to explode if people don't start eating plants anyways. Enzo Amore rap tune. No. Enzo Gracie? I'll look that up in a... Oh, no. I don't even know who that is. I'll look that up in a sec. I was reading about this thing here. They're talking about... Oh, because people were talking about Steve Jobs and Ashton Kutcher. You know where like Ashton Kutcher probably went wrong is because he tried to be like Steve Jobs, and if you look at the Steve Jobs, what actually happened to Steve Jobs, there's a great lecture from Dr. McDougall where he goes through all of Steve Jobs' previous surgeries on his body, and none of them had anything to do with diet. He had like, I forget what it was, like some reoccurring thing like his whole life. Maybe it did have to do with diet, but it was like happened since he was younger, right? So he kept going to get like some kind of colon surgeries or something. I forget what it was. But that's how Steve Jobs died, was whatever that was. Like they showed his medical records and everything. But so then Ashton Kutcher tried doing it, but like he wasn't like a vegan or something. Like I said, he didn't do any sort of transitioning. Like he went from like American diet to a fruitarian diet like that. Of course that's going to throw your body out of whack. Like if you're not used to something, like I can't just be like, I'm going to jump on the Eskimo diet tomorrow or something, right? And just eat raw whale blubber. Yeah, I'm going to be dying. I'm going to be like, what the hell happened? And it's going to screw me right up, right? So, I mean, that'll screw anybody up eventually, but like you would notice like within like a month you'd be like wanting to go to the hospital. So, of course, like his gut bacteria wouldn't even be healthy enough to deal with all just 100% fruit. And then plus you have to have a certain amount of time to stretch out your stomach because there's way more water in fruit and stuff like that. But anyway, so it says, even though about this stupid crap about Steve Jobs and Ashton Kutcher, it says a famous study from 1980 argued that based on the evolution of human jaws and teeth, our ancient ancestors used to eat a diet dominated by fruit. Let's see here. Trying to find where it talks about the rest of this thing. This article is too long. It says, while fruit is certainly high in the sweet stuff, research has consistently linked whole fruit consumption to a reduced risk for obesity and other metabolic diseases. Yeah. For one thing, whole fruit has both soluble and insoluble fiber. Together, these two fibers form a gel-like lattice work on the inside of the duodenum in the small intestine. That lattice work prevents a significant portion of the fruit's sugar from being absorbed early on during the digestive process, like stopping a tsunami wave by building an underwater wall. This gel barrier limits the rate of sugar absorbed. So when you have soluble and insoluble fiber, that limits the rate of sugar absorption so the liver is not overwhelmed. Science. Science. Amanda Bynes. Kaylee got me a little bit sick, folks. It's okay, though. We love her. Oh, man. Potatoes. Do carnivores ever get colds? Well, I know when I used to eat a lot of meat when I was lifting weights, I would get way more colds than I do now. One thing that I noticed though too, like, I wasn't sick for so long, and then I started like really trying to train, you know, on the new treadmill there and keep pushing my speed up and time up and everything every day. And then, you know, Kaylee's sick. I feel like, you know, the more I train and push myself, I'm tired, my body's tired, then it's more susceptible to catching a cold from Kaylee or something, right? Because usually Kaylee will get sick and there'll just be no problem. I won't get sick whatsoever. But Kaylee's really sick up there. She has like, because she doesn't blow her nose. She refuses to blow her nose all the time. So she was getting like really congested and like coughing, trying to cough it out, and it was actually like making her eye like infected or whatever. So she's getting better now, but she got me sick a little. But I don't get anywhere near that. I'm like perfectly fine. I could still probably go for a run. I'm gonna go outside like. Which his body handles it a lot better, but I find, yeah, if you overdo the training, then you're more susceptible to colds. Peach out meat. Thanks, Brain. Potatoes help. I was also drinking a bunch of beers and running, and Kaylee was sick. And I still didn't get that sick. Just a little bit. And I still went to work for, 3 days in a row, full shifts and everything, so it's not that bad. Here's what people don't understand here. It says, heavy fruit consumption may come with some downsides, and excess of whole fruit can give you diarrhea, says this doctor, right? Okay, so, again, if somebody was, just eating an American diet, they're going to McDonald's, then they're eating, steak and eggs and bacon and all this stuff, and then one day they just decide to eat, 5 mangoes, a watermelon, and all this stuff. Yeah, their body's their body's gonna be like, what the hell is this? This isn't what I'm used to, right? And it's gonna cause problems. Like, people who have been eating tons of raw fruits and vegetables their whole lives, they have absolutely no problems with handling it because their body's used to it. Any diet's going to cause problems if you just immediately jump into something totally different. People are stupid who do these studies. That was a lot of potatoes, but I didn't eat breakfast today. That was like a brunch. It's already 2 o'clock. Does your wife get more sick or less? Hard to say. Hard to say. She does get probably less sleep, which doesn't help. She works shift work. Sometimes she'll work midnights. But yeah, I don't know. I'll keep tabs. I'll keep tabs and I'll let you know. By the end of 2020, I'll have a list. How do you cook your potatoes? Just boil them? Yes. That's all I did. It's just a sack of red potatoes in a big pot. Boiled them. If you fry them, then you can get acrylamides. You get acrylamides and carcinogens forming, and that's not good for your arteries or your colon. It could cause colon cancer. It can clog your arteries. So try not to fry anything at all, man. At all. Especially in oil. You could cook something with some water in a pan and I don't know if that's even caused dangerous but delicious. Yeah. Just don't do it often. Don't do it every meal, sir. See, if you have meats, right, and you cook it, and you can get the saturated fats can clog your arteries, but if you have trans fats as well, that can calcify your arteries, which is also very bad. So even if it's not meat, don't fry it. Even if you bake something in the oven and it turns black, don't eat the black part. That's bad. Anything that's black on your food, throw it out. Okay. If you love whole fruits, there's little evidence that indulging in it, even a whole lot of it, is bad for your health. Time magazine, that's how they ended that article. Nutritionfacts.org. Can you eat too much fruit? We love nutritionfacts.org. Okay, let's see here. There's a threshold for toxicity of fructose, and it may be around 50 grams. The problem is the current average adult fructose consumption. So the levels of half of the adults are likely above the threshold for fructose toxicity, and adolescents currently average 75. Is that limit for added sugars or all fructose? If so, so basically, Harvard Health here wanted to find out if, how about if we eat 20 fruits a day that has all that fructose in it? Is it going to be the same as fructose from added sugars? It's actually been put to the test. Gregor voice. We put it to the test. No, wait, how does it go? It hasn't been put to the test until now. 17 people were made to eat 20 servings of fruit a day despite the extraordinarily high fructose content of this diet, presumably about 200 gram 8 cans of soda worth fructose. Okay, so it's 8 cans of soda worth of fructose. Investigators reported no adverse effects and possible benefit, actually, for body weight, blood pressure, and insulin and lipid levels after 3 to 6 months. More recently, Jenkins and colleagues put people on about 20 servings of fruits a day for a few weeks and found no adverse effects on weight or blood pressure or triglycerides, and an astounding 38-point drop in LDL cholesterol. 38-point drop in LDL cholesterol. Bruh, eat your fruit. 20 servings a day, 38 points down. If you want to get that cholesterol down, get 20 servings in. There was one side effect, though. Can you guys guess what the side effect is? Take a guess. If you've read this article before, don't spoil it. What is the bad side effect of if I ate 20 servings of fruit a day, I'd stop enjoying it? Well, switch it up. Switch it up. Make like a big blenderized smoothie drink. Have like some watermelon, mango. Like I got 6 oranges right here. I could probably smash these in a couple minutes if I was just sitting here. I'm gonna eat them really fast, and there would only be 14 servings left. And then I got, like this is right here, this is, what, 11 servings right there. That's like barely one meal. I could eat all this right now. I just ate all those potatoes, right? There was once that nobody guessed the side effect. I heard Gregor say not eating enough fruit was more dangerous for you than smoking. Man, Gregor is a smart guy. There was one side effect, though. Given the 44 servings of vegetables they had on top of that fruit. Now, they're also eating 44 servings of vegetables and 20 servings of fruit. They recorded the largest bowel movements apparently ever documented in a dietary intervention. 64 servings of fruits and vegetables. That's funny. The largest bowel movements of all time. Well, yeah, if every other study's done on meat and eggs and dairy, of course. Think about it. And that's the end. That's the end of the article. He ends with that. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. So he even talks about how in Denmark they did a study with diabetics, and they gave the diabetics fruit and it helped them. Diabetes. Diabetes. Ew. Fruit has anti-obesity effects. Yeah, I can't find any bad studies on fruit, though. That was the whole point of me looking this up. See, I put this in so I could try to find bad studies. All it is good studies. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all good. I'm never doing a football stream again, unless it's not American football. Because there's no football fans in here. There was only one guy. It's kind of a waste of time. But I got to hang out with y'all. And it is 2:08, so I'm gonna eat these oranges and then I'll probably call it a day. I don't think there's any basketball on tonight. NBA schedule. It was a weird day because usually there's basketball. Hey, what's up, man? Havoc PvP. Yeah, I was watching basketball every day, and then all of a sudden today there's no basketball. Maybe because it's Thanksgiving, I guess they decided to take the day off. Football decided to have more games because it's Thanksgiving. Basketball took the entire day off. Starts tomorrow at noon, though. Basketball is on at noon tomorrow. Timberwolves Nets, and then it goes all night. See who's playing. Cavs, Sixers, tons of games on tomorrow. They got to get all the games in tomorrow because they didn't have any on today. There's like 12 games on tomorrow for basketball. It was all a dream. Kenny used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper Happy D up in the limousine. Am I anti-ask yourself, like the person? I don't even know what that means. I'm anti-ask yourself Discord and anti-organic is carnist. But like, I don't know. He is annoying. But I don't hate him or nothing. I don't like hate the guy. I just like don't like, you know. You could just not be interested in something or disagree with somebody and not like hate them or something. So I don't know what you mean by anti. I've seen way the Carbs games. And somebody sent me that last time I was on, like 5 days ago. And I mean, he's working out. That's good. I don't know what he looked like before, so it's hard for me to say if it's good or not. He just looks like a skinny guy with like a little bit of biceps. He's not like amazing, but you could tell he's not on steroids, so that's good. Oh, he's got more videos. He's got more videos now. 1 day ago. I mean, he's got some biceps though, but he's just a skinny guy. He has improved. That's good. That's good. It's not like I can look at it and be like, "Well, that's so impressive." But it was good. Good for him. I should give him some tips. Nobody listens to my tips because they're too hard. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift the heavy ass weight. That's a Ronnie Coleman quote. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but nobody want to lift those heavy ass weights. What are your tips? Well, if let's say I quit running tomorrow, and I was like, I want to get strong and bigger, size, just get muscle, right? Period. I'm not being like, I want to get big biceps. Like, if his goal is like, I just want to grow my biceps, then he's doing a good job. Then you're doing great wavy carbs. Grow those biceps, bro. Keep it going. If you want to just be jacked all over the place, all right, what you need to do, first of all, what I just ate, great choice of meal for getting jacked. Hit those potatoes up. But deadlifts, first of all. That's all I would do. I would put on, not all I would do, but I would go to the gym and I would put one plate on each side for I'd do some barbell deadlifts, one set with one plate. Then I would put 2 plates on each side. Then I would rep out as many as I could. A pyramid set up. Then I would put on, if I couldn't get to 3 plates, I'd put on 2 1/4. And then I'd do 2 1/4 on each side. Rep it out. Keep going until you're at 2 reps. Keep going. Deadlifts. And in between my sets of deadlifts, I would be banging out some overhead presses. I'd be banging out some push-ups. And then when I was done, then I would do squats, rows, and pull-ups or pull-downs. That's what I would do. Every day. Every day. And the only rest days I would take is if, say I got a cold or just life didn't let me go to the gym. And that's it. And every set is heavy. Heavy. That's it. And I'd be in the gym for 2 hours. No less. And then when I got home, I would be eating big potato dish, or whatever else. No warm-up set. So like I said, I would start out with 1 plate on each side. That would be a warm-up set, right? That's why you pyramid up. No need to stretch. No need to do all those things. You warm up with the exercise. You might even want to start with just the bar, right? And then, if you want to gain weight, like you want to gain muscle, you have to gain weight. So you need to eat until you're full, right? To put on size. And for a while, it might take a couple years. You might gain a lot of weight, and then all of a sudden you feel, oh, my belly might be getting a little bit too big. And then you cut down the calories, and that's when you see all of your lovely muscle that you made during those 2 years is after you now switch the potatoes to oranges or something, and then now you could see all of your definition and everything, and that's when you feel the best, and you feel like it all paid off. I would have no cardio, none. If I was trying to make gains, muscle gains, 0 cardio. Why would you? I don't understand those people who are like, well, you need to do cardio. I heard a trainer in the gym the other day go, oh, well, if you want to gain weight, all you got to do is lift weights 3 times a week, and then you can do cardio, and you will burn calories and get muscle at the same time. No, you won't. Okay? It's impossible unless you're on the juice. You will not lose weight and gain muscle at the same time. You might be able to do that for like a month, when you first start lifting, won't happen. Will never happen. But I'll make some videos like that in the future. After I run 100 kilometers or 100 miles in 24 hours, then I'll go back to weightlifting. I might do a squat every day program. Because I had a really big deadlift before, now I want a really big squat. At least 4 or 5 plates on each side. I don't care much about bench press. Squat's a lot cooler, man. If you can squat to ass to grass with 4 or 5 plates on each side, that's way cooler than a deadlift. I mean, that's way cooler than a bench press. People who have big bench presses are usually just people who are just like really like overweight, and they just lie on their back and just go that, and their little stubby arms. That's not impressive, right? Those people cannot squat because it actually takes proper mobility and body mechanics to squat compared to just moving your arms like this. Ass to grass. You probably never watched my videos before, but on YouTube or Facebook lifting, well, maybe you have, but very ass to grass. Very ass to grass. I have videos where I go down to the ground squatting, and I could sit cross-legged and then get back up. But not with max weight on there, I mean. But like with like a plate on each side. Ace to grace. I'll try to find you a video real quickly. Just squatting to parallel is for suckers. I can't find my video here. Squat. Oh, it's not popping up. Thunder Bay. Low bar or high bar? Well, I always used to do high bar squat, right? My biggest lifts are with high bar. But if I was going to do a squat everyday program, I would try to incorporate both and just see which one turned out to be the best. I'll show you an ass to grass shot here. Oh. So here's a low bar. Here's some low bar ass to grass shots here. So I gotta fix my low bar squat because my head's leaning forward, and this is a really old video, but like you can see, like I got good mobility here. There's just a couple plates on each side doing low bar squats. I think 5x5 at 225, but you see all the way down. That's not so great. Leaning forward in that one, but again, it's low bar. I hardly ever do low bar. I'm just trying it out. But like way past parallel. Those pants are like way too big too. I don't know. I got like hammer pants on. They look super baggy. Hammer pants. Yeah, low bar is not the best form though I got going there. Who cares about form really, but high bar, let me find you a better example here. His pants are a little bit too big to even see what's going on. It's lagging? Strong for a vegan. You're strong for one of those weak vegans. I guess that's a compliment there. I'll find a better one here. Here's a good one here. It's still lagging? Shouldn't be lagging now. Here's a big ass front squat. I don't even know how much that is. It might be like 315 or something. No idea. But like you see, it's the bar's in front of me now. You might be able to see the depth a little bit better there. Yeah, all the way down. Almost touch my ass on the ground there. That's how you gotta squat. Let me try to pause it there where it goes down. Ready? Look at that. Like that's how low your anus should be to the ground. Just about to sit down, you know. I don't even know if I paused that on depth, but do I use squat shoes? No, just normal. You know what? Actually, I have a really old pair. Because I don't know if they're vegan, so I don't want to buy any more. But they're probably not vegan shoes. But I got like Chuck Taylors. Chuck Taylors are the best deadlifting squat shoes because they're just like completely flat, tiny platforms like that on the bottom. Not many men do that. Well, they do, and they're called professional lifters, right? So if you actually look at like people who are like, say, Olympic lifters, or you know, like if you look at like, say, some videos of like Asian people in like the Olympics, and they're showing them how to squat correctly, that's what they're doing, right? Like it's only these American roided out, like, let me just do as much steroids as I can, get as big as I can. All those type of people, they don't know how to squat. All the American, the people at the local gym, like, they don't know how to squat. Like, the gym that I work at, there's one guy that I know that I always talk to, and he's in there, and he's squatting the other day. He's got, like, super good, like, ass to grass form. I'm like, you're not allowed in this gym. You can't be in here squatting properly like that. This area over here is not for you, okay? You need to go find a different gym. Everybody here only quarter squats. Was I thick? Depends what you mean by that. You do need a big ass to deadlift and squat though, that's for sure. Because that's where the muscle is, the glutes. Pull that weight up with your ass. You gotta squeeze your ass all the time. So, I mean, just from experience, like I know like how to squat and stuff properly, right? But then like I watch videos with like, you know, the happy, healthy vegan guy Ryan doing quarter squats, and he's like, oh, I'm doing quarter squats because science says so. It's like, you probably just don't know how to squat. I'm just gonna say you could barely squat the weight of 1/4. Well, it's really hard for anybody just to squat regularly. And so there's so much ego in the squat. Because people will go to the gym and they see people, like even girls, they'll see a girl squatting with like, could have 45s on each side. And they'll go, well, you know, if that girl is doing that, I can't just go in here and do the bar. You know, I'm not going to be a man, right? So they don't take the time to learn how to squat properly before they put weight on. So they just automatically just throw weight on, and then they just do that over and over again, and then they just never learned how to squat correctly. I've said this before in a video, but if you want to actually learn how to squat correctly, you got to go up against the wall, and you put your toes directly against the wall. So my toes are touching the wall, right? And my hat's going to be in the way, and this shirt is a little big, but so you want to put your hands up for balance, right? You want to be able to squat down like that without hitting the wall. So I can squat up and down like that. My toes are touching the wall all the way ass to grass, and then back up. If you can't do that, then you shouldn't be squatting with any weight. You got to learn how to squat with mobility, sitting back into the squat without feeling like you're going to fall over. Yeah. And a good way to practice that is to hold on to TRX ropes, or to hold on to, some rings or whatever, or like a corner of the squat rack. Practice holding onto something before you squat, right? Yeah, exactly. So if you've done, there's something called like motor engrams or something. So if you've done something like 500 to 1,000 times, then it'll be in your brain, and then you won't even have to think about it, right? But let's say you do something 500, 1,000 times and it's in your brain, and then you realize, oh, that's wrong. Then it might take like 4,000 times to unlearn that and learn the new thing. So you're way better off starting to learn it right from the beginning. So, I mean, that's where a personal trainer could come in handy, but you might get a really dumb personal trainer who doesn't even teach you how to squat properly. And then also, I mean, the best way to do it is probably just look it up online and figure it out from like a professional power lifter, right? Like Johnny Candido or somebody who actually knows how to squat. Squatting with no weight is great exercise for mobility, and that's what you need to have in order to just live a comfortable life and not need assisted living and have somebody have to help you off the couch and the toilet and the bed when you're older. So that's why you should learn mobility and how to squat properly first. Also, you see all these people who, oh, my knee's injured, oh, this is injured, this is that. It's because you have no mobility in your body. You don't know, your body doesn't work properly yet. You can't even, like if you were in the bush and you were going to take a crap outside, that's how you would squat to take a crap. Nobody does that anymore. They sit on, nice comfy toilet seats, so they don't even do ass to grass squatting anymore. So you need to, learn how your body should work. And yeah, that's where you would start to get mobility. But if you wanted to make actual like muscle size gains, you need to either hire the load reps or sets, right? So if you want to get bigger, you can't just do body weight exercises. Is it lagging? My screen is not lagging. My bad if it is. I gotta go soon anyways though. This stream was unsuccessful in getting viewers. No more NFL. Only going to stream basketball and soccer. NFL is out. So tomorrow I'll be watching some NBA. I don't know what time yet. I don't think there's any soccer on until the weekend. and I got to take Kaylee to gymnastics on Saturday. Might have to miss it. You're lagging because of Thanksgiving? One thing where, you know, somebody was like, well, a lot of people are like, oh, this is what Vegan Gains thinks of that. Like, I've heard Vegan Gains say some really dumb stuff about lifting weights, right? About, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, and it's like, this is the proper way to do it. Like, you can't, he said something about, like, doing touch and go deadlifts is stupid. Like, okay. Why? There's a difference between if you do deadlifts that are not touch and go, where you drop it dead on the floor and then pick it up. That's fine for building like explosive power, right? To pull the deadlift, to pull the bar up off the ground. And then the touch and go deadlifts, that is to keep the tension on the muscle, to build more muscle. Time under tension. That's how building muscle works. So one's more power, one's more muscle building, right? That's the difference. That's why you would do one or not the other, depending on what your goals are. Everything in fitness is goal-based. There's no one correct way to do anything in fitness. The only correct way to do it is based on whatever you want the outcome to be, right? So if like, you can't just be like, well, this is the proper way to run, right? Because, you know, based on body mechanics, there's so many factors that go into it, and then whatever the person's goals are, it just, it doesn't, I'm not big enough to do an Ask a Personal Trainer anything stream because nobody, I don't get 100 viewers yet just for turning on the camera. But when that happens, then I will. Then I will for sure. When there's more of a, you know, people can ask me anything too. Like, you know, especially Patreon supporters. If I have a Patreon supporter for $1 and they ask me something on Patreon, like I'm definitely gonna answer them 100%. But even if just regular people just ask me stuff in the comments, if they're not like some crazy meat turd anti-natalist, then I'm going to answer them. Yeah, I mean, I did online coaching before. It seems like a lot of people just like hire personal trainers though, and then they're like, they're not really into it. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, I want a personal trainer, and they're all really excited at first. And then they kind of like stop messaging you and they stop asking you stuff, and you'll be like, hey, do you want some new stuff? You want this? And it's like people kind of just like quit the gym. And I think that's why those people are out of shape to begin with. It's not like, personal training is not like what people think it is. Like, it's not like you're going to get all these people that are just like, show me how to work out, and then they go all hard and stuff. It's like, you know, it's usually lazy people who will hire you and then kind of like quit after a while because they're just lazy. But you do get some, like I do have some clients that have been with me for like years that are super dedicated, and those are the ones that are in shape, and those are the ones that are eating correctly and everything, are the ones that are dedicated, right? So that's all it takes is your tuition pays for the gym. It helps to work at a gym too, and then you don't have to pay for a membership, right? Get a job at a really good gym, and then you don't have to pay a membership. I don't actually go to the gym right now. I just run in the treadmill, so I don't even need a gym membership. At one time, I had like 3 gym memberships going, all for free. She trained Aretha Franklin. She's like some kind of like soul singer or some R&B singer or something, isn't she? Or jazz or something like that? That's crazy. Can't say that I ever listened to Aretha Franklin. What was I talking about though? I forget. She died? Well, she was in good shape then. Everything is actually really easier than it seems. You know, once you learn how to squat and deadlift correctly, which might take a while, and you know, all the basic stuff, like don't, you know, people like, oh, always have these specific things like don't ever lock out your arms. Don't ever lock out, people will say, because that'll hurt your joints. Okay, that's stupid, first of all. I lock out my joints right now. Nothing's going to happen to my arms. Like, look, oh, I locked out. Oh, that's bad for my arms. No, okay. Don't grab a bar and just be like, snap, 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 and go crazy with it. No, don't do that. Don't, you know, be a dummy about it. But you can lock out your arms when you bench press and do things once in a while, right? Just don't go snap city on your elbows. You know, it's just real common sense stuff. Like, you know, go every day. Get sleep. These are important things that everybody should do. Eat healthy food. Ronnie Coleman did quarter bench press. Yes, because Ronnie Coleman is doing that based on his goals. So Ronnie Coleman's only goals are to get bigger arms. So like I mentioned, like time under tension, right? So he's just got it right here and he's just pumping his arm. That's all he's trying to do is get his arms bigger. He's not trying to have good mobility. He's not trying to have, like, you know, the biggest bench press. He's not in powerlifting. He's not whatever. All he's trying to do is take steroids, eat, and then get whatever body part that he thinks is lagging bigger. So he just had time under tension, just pumping it back and forth. That's all he's trying to do. And again, you might see another bodybuilder, a different guy, like, you know, Jay Cutler, doing it differently. But he's like equally as big, you know, or winning or doing all this stuff. So there is no, like, this is the way, right? There, like, it just makes no sense. There is no this is the way, but let me tell you, don't quarter squat. There is a way with squats, and don't quarter squat, people. I find I must sleep more when yeah, for sure. When you're training more, you need more sleep for sure. Or it's going to catch up to you, and then your training's going to start going downhill, and then your body's basically, your body will force you to not work out. Like that's why you need like an adaptive training schedule. I have this book called Run Faster, and it's all about adaptive training. You should never stick perfectly to a schedule, a training program and be like, this is exactly how I'm going to do it, because life's not going to let you do it that way. You are going to get sick. You are going to have to work, miss a day. You won't get enough sleep. So you have to be adaptive with your training schedule, and your body is going to tell you when you need enough sleep. So that's why you need to just go every day and just push yourself. There's a program. It's called Westside Barbell, and it's got like a training mentality where it's adaptive in a way where you put, like, on the days where you feel the best, you got the most sleep, you're not stressed, you ate good, everything's perfect. Those are the days you put on the heaviest amount of weight and you just go for it. And then the days where you kind of feel sluggish, maybe you didn't get enough sleep, you're sore, whatever, those are the days where you put on medium weight and you just do some more reps. And you just build more muscle, you know, instead of strength. And that's a perfect way to do it. That's adapting to how you feel, but still getting the training in to push yourself. Yeah, anybody who tells you that you could lose weight and gain muscle at the same time, they're idiots. Okay, don't ever listen to it. If that comes out of anybody's mouth, hey, you're gonna lose weight and you're gonna build muscle. It's like, okay, either you are dumb as hell or you're conning me. So don't ever listen to those idiots. You have to pick one goal and go for it. If you want to lose weight, you lose weight. If you want to build muscle, you build muscle. If you want to do this, you want to do that. Don't pick 67 goals at once and be running in all these directions. I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. The only time you could have like multiple goals is if one's a big goal and then there's small goals along the way that get you to the big goal, but it's still just the one goal. So it's like, I want to get big, but on the way there I'm going to work on like my bench press PR or something. I'm going to lose weight. Well, there you go. Okay, in order to lose weight, you just need to eat less. That's it. Congratulations. Your program training is complete. Now just start eating less. You want to build muscle? Eat more. You want to build muscle? Lift weights heavy for 2 hours. Get thick. That's right. Some people get thick in weird places, so be careful. You don't want to be like a muffin top, big gut with no ass. You don't want to get thick that way. Sometimes genetics will screw you over. Anybody tells you that you could just lose, is that, well, my kids are still awake here. What kind of a dad would I be if I just slammed a beer at friggin' noon and then went upstairs, hey, let's play with the kids. Yeah, anyway, I gotta go now though. I'll be back on tomorrow to watch basketball. I'm not sure what time yet, but it will most likely be on this channel. I'll have the next channel or the normal channel back in like a week or two. But for now, it'll be just this channel. I'll be on tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good day.